So, how old were you when you first started going to...
To chapel? 4 or 5, I can't say it was 4 or 5, and I never left. When I was a teenager, we just stopped off a little bit when I was doing my job. Not stopped off, but just missed a few weeks. And I don't think after that I ever missed on a Sunday. And my husband and I, we had a car. And we made a point that we never went out on a Sunday in the car. Because he was a steward and I were a Sunday school superintendent, and we looked after our kids. And we went, it was morning, afternoon and night then. Sunday school in the morning, Sunday school in the afternoon, and service at night. And we had a preacher called Mr. Mabbott, and he was an evangelical preacher. And he used to walk across, we had a pulpit that had about, say, 3 or 4 yards, and he used to walk backwards and forwards up some steps. And he used to get really excited. And of course, then by this time we were in our teens, you know, and we sit in the back row. And he used to get so excited, we used to say, he's going to fall off steps in a minute. And we used to all sit with our mouths open, waiting to see if he fell off steps. It's awful, isn't it? And then on Whit Monday, we all congregated together, and we went walking around this village singing. Little ones went on, and this is why I went to see Mrs. Otchin. Her father used to bring his cart, and he just polished that brass under there. All his brasses were brightly polished. We used to go all around the village, little ones on this cart. We used to walk miles round there, right up to Park, come back, and we dashed in for this cup of tea at this party. All it was a hot cross bun or something, and 2 buns in a paper, and a drink. And we thought it was absolutely wonderful. And we had to have best clothes for the Sunday. From the Monday we all had a cotton dress, so that we could spill down it without anybody. And we were such a grand lot of people. We all helped each other, you know. And then we went on these trips. And Mr. Fowler would take one bus, and I would, you know, not take the bus, but count all the kids up and that. And in all the years we had it, we only had one slip up. And we came back, and we stopped at Malton, and for a drink and things like that, you know. And Mr. Fowler checked his bus, and I checked my bus, and we set off. When we got to Lofthouse Gate, one kid was missing. So we had a blue fit then, you see, and it was Mr. Fowler's, luckily it wasn't mine. And this lady, she wasn't a church person, she carried on, she swore at us and all sorts of things. So I said, well, how comes it to see we could only have lost him at this pub where we stopped, you know. So she said, well, I said, look here, just a minute, so let's get this thing straight. I said, Mr. Fowler checked that bus that your lad was in. I said, what happened to it after that? Anyway, it came out that she had taken him out of the bus and sent him back with some empty bottles. So I rang this pub up at Malton, and she said, oh, don't worry, she said, he's asleep on the bench. But he said, if you like to fetch him in the morning, that's all right, we'll keep him. Oh, no, I said, we don't do that, we'll have to come tonight. Because I'm responsible as well as Mr. Fowler. So we went over in a taxi and fetched him home. Now, another time we went on trip, we went to Cleethorpes. Now, at Cleethorpes, I think, if you know it, there was when you came out of the railway station, there was a wall, to climb over. One kid, he fell over the wall at first place, so it took him to have him just bandage it up a little bit, didn't hurt himself much. And then next kid, he fell in water, so we tied them all on a piece of string, so that we could keep tab on them. And we decided that this particular year that we would go to Easter, because it might not be as crushing for children and we could take better care of them, you see. So we went to Easter, got into, it was Scarborough, that was Cleethorpes when he fell over the wall. This is Scarborough when, it was quite nice when we set off. When we got there and got running around, it started to snow and it snowed all afternoon. So with all this tribe of kids taking them into a cafe for a cup of pop or something like that. We've had some jolly times with kids, really. We're all poor, you see, and everybody used to help each other. This is what I don't understand today. Nobody helps anybody. They're all grab, grab, grab all the time, aren't they? And I remember when we used to go to chapel, it was what we called a faith tea. Everybody took something. You know, and then we shared it all out and had what we called a faith tea. Nobody knew what you were going to get. You all took something. And I find today that this business of all these newfangled things we're getting, they don't suit me because I'm old-fashioned. And I like things to be smiling and peaceful, not to be singing tunes that you don't even know. And not only you don't even know them, you don't care for them. I mean, I can't stick some of the pop groups on here because I think they're neither singing nor leaving us alone. But no, Methodist has been a lot to me. And I think they're bringing in too much paperwork and too little action. I've actually had a good life. I've been poor, but I've had plenty of friends.